from Fox, is correct?
From what I understand, is that not correct, Russell?
There was never an official vote done at the meeting where only one person had put in a bid.
We're supposed to vote on it in May.
So there needs to be an official vote put in for it.
There's a vote on Fox and a vote on a vote on Mid-Tower. That was the only two that turned any paper.
There was nothing official voted on in the minutes, and they need that done. So now Melissa has asked us to
just talk
about it and re-vote on it, since it was never put in any minutes. So do I hear a motion to go forward?
I'll make a motion to accept the 2 bids.
All right, do I hear a second?
What was the motion?
To accept the bids for the grants that was already discussed for Mid-Tower. Remember when they brought in those books and there was only one bid for each? There was never an official vote done, and they need that in the minutes to move forward.
All right.
So we want to go forward with those 2 bids.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, unanimous. Motion carries.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Procedural question. When is there time for discussion? Because
For what?
And this may be different, but usually in other meetings I've attended, they ask for a motion, then a second, and then after you get your motion, a second, then you open the floor for discussion, then you take the vote. And that's what I was waiting for then, for a motion to...
For this?
Yeah.
This is already something they already discussed in the past and voted on, but they never put it in the minutes. Okay. So this has already been discussed. So it's just an official vote for the minutes so they can go forward with it, because they already did this in the past but never included it in their minutes in the previous administration.
In these proceedings, do you ever give information to the people out here so they can take a look at this stuff?
The meeting packet is right here in this binder. I think you came in late when we were explaining all that.
Okay.
The whole meeting packet is right there in that binder for inspection, and if you want to take any of it home with you, it's 15 cents a copy. And there's also agendas where copies were made.
The books are right here if you'd like to also take and just look at them. That's the only thing I have. Fred Fox, who is the administrator, is going to come and meet with me on Thursday to get the paperwork, give me what I'm missing. Because it wasn't all together, so I don't know what was the grants that had closed out before and what is fixing to start now, which is the both the second phase of our water plant and the fiber optic. So those 2 are fixing to start coming forward. We're going to start first with the water, so that's what we need to send to the state, that we accepted their bids for their proposal. So. But you're more than welcome to look at them.
All right, thank you.
Okay. And we have department reports. I want to start with administration. Do you have anything, Belinda?
Okay. Yes, Alan Jones will be here on tomorrow to finish our 2022 audit. We will make some journal entries. At that point, we will be finished. They're going to upload it to the state, and then they'll let us know when it is. We received a letter from the state saying if we didn't get it soon, at least by November, we would be penalized. At that point, they will finish not only the 2022 audit, but they will finish any of the old stuff that's hanging out there in the books, and then I will be able to upload all of the 2023 information. And we should have our audit finished no later than the end of December of this year, which will be the first time we're not behind, and we will get no nasty letters from the state. So that's where we stand right now with that. Going forward, if you need to, I have the stuff that you guys will need if you're interested in doing any of the building stuff. I can give you the application and the checklist and things like that. Let's see, right now I think that's just
okay, as far as the computer goes, I know you were trying to get different quotes for the computer, and there's nobody else around here to get the quotes for the computer. And
Well, right now, I'm backing up on the hard drive, hope I don't drop it, and I'm not cutting the machine off,
I'm
so.
just a little confused about previous practice. When last year, a laptop was purchased without a vote for $869. And when Dawn asked about why this was purchased without a vote, Mr. Meeks said, we don't need a vote, it's an emergency situation, and we just bought it. So now that it's different people, the rules are different. And I'm confused as to why that is. I'm also confused about why the scanner was purchased without quotes.
I'd like to see something in writing where I said that or hear it on the recorder.
Oh, yes, sir.
I didn't say that.
Let us
Let's
show you
see.
the minutes.
It's in
The
the.
meeting minutes from
It was
April
in the,
12th. You want to hear
we put
them?
it in the budget.
Did you want to hear the minutes?
We put it in the budget to buy that, computer.
No, you
You want to
didn't.
hear the minutes?
No, you didn't.
So April 12th, 2022, Councilman Severino asked about the expenditure for the replacement computer and questioned why the council hadn't had any input on the expense. Mayor Meeks stated that the funds were in the budget, and when the one failed, we needed to replace it before the meeting.
I think that was because Warren was on, we had to use him for our laptops.
So I guess
Yeah.
we get to deem what the emergencies are.
Yeah,
And
it
we
was
don't
because
have
of
to
Warren.
follow protocol when we can do whatever. The scanner was also purchased with no quotes. So,
Our ordinances says anything over $500 has to have 3 quotes. If you do not have 3 quotes, then put it out for bid. And I'm willing to go, that's our Bible. I was told by legal counsel, you take your ordinances, your resolutions, your charter, and the state statutes, and that's what you govern your office with. And I'm going to do that.
You said legal counsel?
I asked Norm Fugit when I met with him, not only on the building, but on that. What do we govern our office with? Our office, and that's what he told me. You take your ordinances, your resolution, your statutes, and your charter, and you go by all of those. And if your ordinances said you do this, and the resolution said you amended this, but now you go this way, that's the way we go.
Okay, this was just all on the phone?
No, I was in person. We went in person.
Okay.
And that's where we did the building and zoning for him, made sure we were going forward per the statutes, and because we already had building permit fees and other that already in place. So we needed to make sure that the verbiage on that was right, as well as going forward with any forms. He looked at those. He said everything's fine. He did note that in one of the resolutions for the building permits that we were able to make an adjustment as the cost goes up in the building permits. And we could do a resolution for that.
Well, how did we decide to go to Norm, Mr. Fugate, for that? I know a lot of attorneys.
Because I had people asking for building permits.
It was recommended by the county and different cities.
Recommended by who?
By the county and by different cities.
But he's the attorney for Chiefland.
He's an attorney for Chiefland, Inglis, Cedar Key. He has 8 municipalities. So Norm Fugit knows what he's talking about.
Well, I'm not doubting that.
No,
Does the county have an attorney that would advise us on such things?
no, they don't want to touch us.
So what was the expenditure for Mr. Fugate?
It was for all the building, to sit down and talk to us about going forward with the building permits. It was talked about, the court ordinances, resolutions. It was all, I asked my question to how do we govern ourselves in this office?
The answer was $330.
Well, why don't we ask him to be our attorney?
We did, he won't touch us.
I can't blame him.
No. I did forget to mention that, as of, we now have, back here on the shelf, you have a book open to the public for all the grants. There's a book of ordinances, resolution, sunshine law, ethics, municipality, You also have a book of the minutes from 1980 coming forward. These are open to the public. You're more than welcome to come in, sit down, look at them, but there is a charge for any copy and they cannot leave this facility. So.
Now, going forward with the computer, what's the result? Are we gonna vote on it since we can't get any more quotes?
I just shelved it for something and just hope nothing goes wrong, because we're not backing up. We're backing up everything on a thumb drive, but if it's one of those that's not protected against breakage. So
I vote for her to get the computer. She needs it.
You make a motion, I'll second.
I make a motion for her to buy the computer, y'all to buy the computer, us to buy the computer.
I'll second the motion.
And what is the lower amount, you know?
She already
She
had
done
it
told us
submitted.
the last meeting from,
It's in your packet, you have it at home, from Gatorworks.
yeah,
So
we
you can't
we
repeat it?
discussed this last meeting.
Can't be repeated?
Of course it could. Do you know the figure off the top of your head, Belinda?
no, ma'am, we're gonna sit down and see if we can revise it and maybe lower it for us, but yet still meet the needs that we have.
I know that one, it was about $3,000.
But that's also, we want to take and
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
All right, motion carries. Another thing about the departments, I know it was asked previously why the council members are not assigned to different departments. That question was asked in 2022. And I do believe that the board members should be assigned different departments, so we should all be actively doing things here. So I would like everyone to start thinking about what department you would like, if you have an interest in different departments, before they just get assigned to you, because I know in the past you asked about this, and it was stated as a response that we are all responsible for any area that requires assistance, which I believe is true. We should all be available to help. That's the whole purpose of us being on this board, is in the best interest of the town and to better the town. But if y'all look at the departments, maybe at the next meeting, we could figure out where you guys think you'd be best suited so that people will have more responsibilities and more involvement. That would be great. The other question I had was regarding the brush truck and a status update with the brush truck. November is when the chief said that we'd be doing the exchange and all the papers would be in order. My question was, it was brought up when we were voting on the sale of it that this truck was given to us by the county, when in fact there's an ordinance that it was purchased and a loan was taken out to purchase the truck, and I don't know why we were told otherwise.
The truck was paid for out of the county, the funds that come from the county. And if you look at the title on that truck, it's probably titled to the Otter Creek Volunteer
No.
Fire Department.
City of Town of Otter Creek. That's how it is.
It was
An
purchased from
ordinance.
Otter Creek and you signed a loan for it.
Yeah, you signed the loan and made an ordinance, and then you're telling everybody a different story, so I just wanted to know.
I'm not telling everybody a different story. I'm telling everybody that we got $5,000 a year from the county, and that's what made the payments on the truck. I mean, that's pretty simple arithmetic.
You got some proof of that there, Lance?
I just wanted everyone to know that in fact
It
we
was all in that
purchased.
paperwork in there that y'all destroyed.
Of course it was.
That you
took
hauled
that-
out of here in your truck?
Yeah.
So there was a special meeting to purchase the truck, just so everybody knows. We purchased the truck in 2006. There was a special meeting to do so. We took out a loan. The loan was signed and the ordinance was wrote to purchase the truck, so people don't think that we're doing anything illegal. It was a purchased truck. The ordinance and the loan were both signed by Russell Meeks. So I just wanted to understand why that was told otherwise.
If that truck ever put out a fire, did it ever put out a fire?
I couldn't tell you anything like that, and I don't believe we're gonna get involved in that right now. So that was my question. So now we're on to the building, zoning and water.
water department, we got a permit back for the DEP to move forward on the water treatment. That stuff is it's probably going to take a few weeks to proceed on to get the materials here and get stuff set up, and I'm hoping that everyone's schedule works out and it can be installed by the end of the month. And they're ready. So come November, not November, but by first to mid-November, we got a couple processes to go through with DEP that'll be fully online, and you would hopefully very clearly see a difference in your water quality.
Hopefully taste it too.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And as far as the building goes, we had talked about the inspectors, and y'all wanted more information and asked for that. We've given that last meeting. Any comments on it?
Anybody have any comments or question about the building inspector? There was 2 packets handed out. One was for Safe Built and one was for the John or Jack?
Jack. That's what he goes by,
Did we
Jack.
advertise that or not? Or we just asked them? Or they just found out? Or,
There is no,
you know,
there was only 3 choices to go through the county and all the ones that sort of contacted.
the county recommended these 3.
Jack was one the county's recommended, and all the cities that use Safe Built suggested us use somebody else.
Not to mention you have to pay Safe Built a price whether you use them or not. And
Yeah.
I was
This
just
one,
wondering if we could just,
you don't.
if, you know, somebody put their application in, can we just hire that person? If they have a license, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're all.
They can come in and say, yeah, I would like to do that too.
As long as they have the credentials and
Yeah,
they
if
can,
they're a licensed,
they have to
yes.
give it to us and we can look and see, yes, they can do it.
Okay, so,
I'm not in favor of hiring that dude. Sounds like y'all have already hired him. He lives in Colorado. He won't never go on the job. We need to hire that other company because they have a set up building department. That's the reason they cost more money. But they do plan examination. They do everything that needs to be done. And this guy is not going to do that.
Thompson uses that company, and they're already complaining about how much they spend. They do a lot more building than we do.
Well, we know Cedar Key, we know Inglis is getting away from these people because they're costing too much. Now,
about
we are
$25,000
trying
a
to
year.
talk to another guy. His name is Joe Payne. He's out of Melbourne. Norm said that's who right now Cedar Key is using. Inglis is in the process of working with them too, so we're trying to get a hold of him to see if he can give us, maybe talk to us about coming on and what his fees are. We don't know if he is a set fee each month or if it's going to be per job, so and we don't know.
We reached out for him, trying to get him to see if he's
You're gonna have
interested in
to
talking
set
to us.
the permit fees up so that they generate enough money to pay the bill, whatever the building inspector.
That is correct.
That's correct.
But
Right.
somebody has got to do,
Planning.
all of this other stuff. Plan review, floodplain management review, land development regulations
Yep.
for the town. That's all got to be done. And that guy in Colorado, sitting in Greeley, Colorado, ain't gonna do that. I make a motion that we advertise it. Got a question out there.
Mr. Ford's got a question.
Chairman?
Yes.
Well, the customary way is to advertise, and I'm questioning why it has not been advertised, or shouldn't you go forward and advertise? Because it should be open to anyone that is capable of performing the task.
Well,
So-
we got 3 quotes. That's what it says, 3 quotes. And we did get the 3 quotes.
But you,
One didn't want to mess with us at all. One is on the table, he is just like an attorney, he wants a flat rate fee every month. And then we have one that's
I
$5.
understand
So now
that.
we're in the process of talking to the other one. As I've spoken to many people from Cedar Key, Inglis, there are very few people who are willing to do this around the Tri-County area. So it's up to the council whether we want to advertise or not. I mean, we're doing the best that we can at this point to find someone.
Right now, the council does not know all of the people that are capable of doing the job. And I think everyone should have the opportunity, and the
Well-
way to do that is to advertise
Well, but yes,
so that
okay.
everyone that may be interested and may be more qualified may be able to apply. And
Yeah, what we need is for you to suggest maybe, it can't be in the Chiefland Citizen. Because right now, from what I understand, anybody who is qualified is in Cedar Key, Stephenhatchee, Horseshoe Beach. Us getting someone to help us with the few things that we've got going now are slim and none. So, I mean, where would you
Is it a
suggest?
problem with advertising?
I don't see a problem with
I was
advertising. I
asked
just need to
by,
know.
member
I say we
out
advertise.
here we should advertise it while we get.
I mean, should we, I'm
reached out.
suggesting, anybody make a suggestion as to where would be the best? Citrus County?
I don't know
Alachua
that.
County?
Try the Gainesville paper.
Yeah, more people use the Gainesville Sun than any other paper
I
around
believe-
this area.
Chief and Citizen, very limited who sees it.
Absolutely.
That's for legal purposes only. I mean, you're not gonna get any good response from
There was no real good source to advertise. We reached out to all the companies that we recommended by all the other agencies in the county has recommended. We reached out to those, and these are the ones we've gotten responses from.
Yes, sir.
When you put the ad in the paper, I would suggest, I'm not anybody that lives here, but I've been in the construction field all my life. You have to be a licensed contractor to be able to get the certification for building and zoning. So why don't you try to hire a contractor that'll take the test to do that, that's local.
So we are talking about advertising, right? We're gonna advertise this. I think there was a motion made. and we
That's
can-
what I.
The motion was made.
Yeah, there was a motion made.
So
I
what's the
make a
motion made?
motion that we advertise.
Oh, I
for
second it.
Billing inspection.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, advertising. All right.
Even a retired contractor can go take the test for it.
Did you have something you wanted to say?
Oh, yeah.
No, Susanna?
I do. And I'm a council, I am on a council to be a vote for the residents of Otter Creek, okay? There's maybe 45 houses with people that reside in these houses. There's only 45. Me and Darlene Hudson went by as many residents we could yesterday and gave them a copy of the agenda for tonight's meeting. And we had casual conversations with those we did see. We did learn that most do not want to unincorporate as a town. Again, remember, that's only 45 houses in this. We might have 100 voters, but there's only 45 houses, if that many. Some say we have struggled this long, so let's continue on. A few want the pros and cons of staying and not. So I said we would try to get that for them. You said that, right? You was going to try to get the pros and cons of unincorporating and staying
So
incorporated.
far, all I've gotten is a list with the tax stuff. Nobody else has given me any other information except for
I
the
told them I would
process. But,
get to them.
I have that.
We asked about people attending meetings, which we didn't have many before this new council. So I want people to know that we didn't have many before. They said regardless, with them attending and voicing opinion, the 5 members have the last say. That's what I'm trying to change. I want to be their voice, and some don't want to be filmed, and I said I understood because, believe me, I quit daily because I'm in the limelight now. Some mention of staying to themselves, more or less hiding out, trying to keep hidden, because someone could be filming you and you will be found guilty by association and not knowing what for. Now, keep in mind, I'm not referring to Jeremy himself. We have people from all over filming us now. Our town has been put on display for the world to laugh, ridicule, and humiliate us. We are real people with real feelings. I do not wish this on any town. I did let people know that before I cast a vote, I would get their opinions and would keep them informed. Some liked our new council and some do not. I reminded them that the 2 seats will become available in January to fill out the paperwork, to run, and we'll be voting in April. There can be changes made with their votes. I told them, let's ride out this storm together. Surely the rain will stop someday. Some are asking about the lawsuit against our town. My answer was Russell and Mary have not been found guilty or not guilty by a judge yet. But maybe the outcome will come out soon and we can put this behind us. And as for the world out there watching the show, remember, we're real people. And yes, we watch also because we never know who's going to be the next victim. Because we all make mistakes and could offend anyone at any time. Your town could be next. Keep in mind that I cast my vote on the majority of what Otter Creek is voting from now on. Whatever they want, I'm going to each one of them. Thank you for the 8 people that attended from Otter Creek. There's 19 here, only 8 from Otter Creek.